there, YouTube. I hope all y'all are having a blessed day. It is a cool and cloudy day here on the mountain. It is Tuesday, April 14th. I am here to do another watercolor in the journal that has questionable paper in it. We did a landscape for the first page, and for the second page we are going to be doing a water lily. This is the image, and I've gotten this from a free website. It was Unsplash, but I will be displaying the photo for you up in the corner of the video when we get started. As I have done before, I am going to use my graphite stick, and I am going to just turn this around. I am going to apply a good layer of graphite on the back of the photo. I am only going to be putting the graphite over the areas that I want to trace. And I'm using the softest one that I have. This is a 10B. So now I'm going to place this where I want it, and I am going to put a border on this to make it look nice. Yes, this paper is not meant for watercolor, but I'm okay with that. I have to be a bit careful, and I'm pressing hard to make sure it doesn't leak underneath. I've been having problems with my tape leaking, so I'm hoping to avoid that problem. So now I'm going to get my pencil. What I like about this one is it has a nib on it that is just a stylus. So there's no ink, there's no pencil, it's just a stylus. So I'm going to use that. And I'm going to place this where I want the image, and I want it about here. And I'm going to tape it down, and I am just going to trace around the objects that I'm going to be painting. I think I have traced everything that I want, and I'm going to leave this photo on my desk for a color mat, and I'm going to use a thin pencil. I think I'll use one of these metallics just so I have some lines, but I don't want the heavy graphite. Let me try and lighten this up with the eraser before I try tracing it. And I'm putting very little pressure on the pencil. I'm just letting it glide over. I have to figure out what I'm going to do about the yellow. And honestly, I think I might use acrylic markers to do the yellow. So I think that they're going to come at the end. What really attracted me to the paint, to this photo, was the dark teal of the background. Now I also have to do the detail on this, and I'll have to do the veins and all of that. This actually has a fold in it. All right, I have picked out the colors that I want to use. I'm going to use my Kuritakis for this, and I have picked 4 shades of green for the lily pad, and I'm not sure if I'll use all 4 of those colors. I've picked a saffron yellow and an orange for the center, and also for the center I have my marking pens out, and then I've picked 4 shades for the flower itself, 5 shades. I am going to put the paints aside for the time being, and I'm going to draw in the centers of the flowers. I think I'm going to start with 2. Now, I've never used these pens before. And this paper is already starting to pill just from the masking fluid. So this is interesting. We will see what happens. While that's drying, we can start the background. And the background is this stunningly beautiful teal. This is blue-gray deep. So I'm going to start by wetting the area. Now this I'm just going to be dropping in and smushing it about. It is a stunningly beautiful color, and it is just magical. Now I think I'm going to look for some really dark green to drop in there as well. And I have this turquoise green deep that I think will look lovely in here. Yep. It'll just add to the deep dark mysteries. I have used the heat gun and almost completely dried the background, and I feel that it is a bit too dull, so I'm going to darken it up, and I'm not sure what color. I think I want to use the blue gray deep again, because the image itself is a bit more teal leaning than the results that I've gotten. So we're going to give it a go. We're going to give it another layer of the blue-green deep. And that should give it the depth that I'm looking for. This is almost dry, but it's still a little damp, but we're going to go with it. And I'm going to give the lily pad kind of like a background layer. All right, that is the base color, and I think I might switch to a smaller brush at this point. Kind of get rid of this harsh line that's here. Now there is a darker green that is making kind of veins in here. And I don't think I want them to be harsh, so I'm going to do them while the paint is damp. This section of the leaf I thought was folded over, but what's actually going on is it's under the water. So I am just going to go over this lightly. It's a more yellowy color, and it has a very thin demarcation where the water is hitting it. And I'm just going to leave that and let it blend. Now there are some super dark areas. There's some spots on this leaf, kind of some blemishes. And there are also some lighter colors. So I'm just going to make a couple of them. I am going to start. I think what I will do is work my way into the shadows, or I'm going to work from the bottom of the flower towards the center. And there are a few petals that are actually reflected in the water. So I'm going to do those first. And I'm going to add some of the blue-green in with it. This one here is a reflection. And I think I do want to add some of this red. Oh yeah, definitely. That's the color I was looking for. Yes, sirree, Bob. It looks so dark in the pan, but that is the exact color I was looking for. all of the colors are down, I'll try and work out some of the hard lines in here. I'm going to let this dry thoroughly, and then I'm going to come back and I'm going to try and take the masking off. I don't know how that's going to work, but I want to give everything a really good chance to dry. So once this is dried and relaxed a bit, I will come back and we'll deal with the masking. I have given this time to dry. This is nowhere near as vibrant as I had hoped. I'm going to go over the entire flower with a thin layer of this vivid pink. And I'm just going to make it a warm layer that goes over everything to increase the vibrancy of the petals. And I can already see that it's lightening and warming it up. I'm going to let this dry. Now comes the moment of truth, and we see if this masking fluid will come off. I am very, very delighted that this actually came off, because I had my reservations. So thanks to those that developed this paper, even though it's not watercolor paper, it handled the masking fluid just as I needed it to, and I'm very, very happy with it. I don't know how much of this I'm going to use, but I'm putting some of the orange out and some of the yellow. I want my brush to be very, very dry. I want it to have mostly paint in it. And I'm just going to dab the yellow in. And now I'm going for the orange. I changed my Lumos pen to a .03 nib. And I'm using carbon black ink. I am going to try and outline some of these. Okay, I think I'm happy with that. I'm going to remove the tape. So I hope you enjoyed this little video. I had so much fun doing it, and it was fun to break out the Kuritakis and play with them. They're always such a joy to use. God's colors just lift me up and just give me so much hope, because I know He loves us. Why would He fill our world with all of these stunning colors if he didn't love us. I'm so thrilled. I love how this page turned out. I absolutely love it. It's not the best. It's not watercolor paper. I wouldn't even really call it mixed media paper, but I had so much fun with it. And yes, I'm in my pajamas. I went away, had dinner, felt cold, and put my pajamas on. So I want to thank you ever so much for watching this video. I hope you learned something. I hope you'll give this a try. I know you can do it. You know you can do it. Go get your colors and put a smile on God's face today. He so loves when we use his creativity, and he gave us all of the rainbow to use for his glory. So let's go do it. Let's go play with our colors. I'll see you right back here at 70 Acre Studio next time with our next little video real soon. I love you all. God bless.
Good night, Elizabeth.
Good night, John Boy.
You are faithful.